Welcome to the Gardens and Graveyard channel. Today we're meeting in the studio and it's still spooky season, so we're going to do a fun DIY decor with yard debris. And I have been inspired to try and create, spider webs. I want to create a witch's broom out of these branches. And these are actually hebe branches from when we cut down our hebe this spring. And I was recently going through our compost pile because we created a dead hedge in the poison garden. So if you're new to this channel, make sure that you check out the playlist for the poison garden and search for dead hedge with the Gardens and Graveyards channel, because I just recently posted a video about that. But I was going through my compost and I was pulling out all the woody debris to create the dead hedge, and I saw these branches and I thought, I have to do something with them. They look so spooky and witchy and fun. So what I want to do is create a broom. Don't these look like broom? What are they called? Broomsticks. Broom. Yeah, they look like little broomsticks. So I'm going to try to make one, and I'd love to make a second one that's maybe a little smaller, so we have a couple of different places that we can display them. So the first thing I'm looking at are the branches, right? Like, this is a really wonky broom. Maybe it's ergonomically correct. I don't know. But if I were to use this, I'd want to cut this off at this bend. Whether I add it into a bigger broom or make it a short broom, I still would like to cut it off at the bend. Like, a little bit of a bend is fine, but okay, maybe. Of course, we're working with dead wood, so it's gonna be a challenge. Or impossible. What in the world? It's not that big of a branch. Okay. Wow. Okay. So this could be a cute little witch's broom, like a little kid's one. Let's see what we have to work with. I know there was one that I really liked. Look at this size. It's kind of short. Okay. Oops. Right. And I've got this one, which is just about right. Where I could, it's Halloween, so it can be like over exaggerated, right? So I kind of like that this one is big. I think I'm going to leave this as is. And then what I'd like to do is bulk up the actual broom part. So that's what we're going to work on next. I do think that we'll take off some of these extra little branch thingies up here. Okay. I do have this ribbon that we'll use at the end, but right now we're just focused on creating the actual broom. So we've got this broom here. We've got some moss. We've got some spider webs. They've been outside. Okay. So this is like too long of a broom. So I'm going to cut them down and see what we can use. So see, we just have these smaller pieces that we can tie in up here. And then this one can almost be a broom right here. I'll be able to make a few brooms, who knows? If we just take this off. Now we've got this broom, which works out nicely. Okay. So now we've got, this one is about the same size. If we kind of wrap them together. That's interesting. Well, we'll keep playing. I'm going to focus on this one first. So I know that I need some over here. So this is looking pretty good. Really just focused on what does the broom itself look like. It's very angled. It's, you know, long on one side, short on the other, which is typical of like an angled broom if we wanted to do something like that. Well, let's just keep playing. Because we have tons off of this one. Which is all kind of swept in one direction also. See what happens if I take one of these. Oops. And maybe even out where it's long. Bring this one in like this. Makes it a little bit more even, and we can take off these ones. I really like that. It looks very natural and it looks fun. And now what I want to do is wrap these guys together so that they become one solid piece. So what I want to do is just use some floral wire. So I've got these like straight pieces of floral wire. Should be fine. It's hard to see, but it's just like a green coated wire. And I'm just going to kind of wrap it around these guys. Give it a little twist in the beginning to get it started. It's nice and tight. And then we'll just wrap it. Really just need to wrap it in one place. It doesn't need to go up the stems because we'll trim off some of this excess. Just want to make sure it's good and tight. And it doesn't need to be pretty because we're going to wrap ribbon around it. So now I'm going to take off some of this, how it's like sticking out this way. I don't mind it too much because it makes it look a little more organic. I don't want it getting caught on a bunch of stuff, so let's take off a few of those. And then it just looks like this. Oops. Okay. And this one right here with a lot of moss and lichen is kind of annoying me, so taking that off. All right, then I'm just going to wrap this with some ribbon. And that's it. It's going to just be really simple and super cute, I think. Right. Kind of want to decide on what side's the front. This is the front. Okay. We don't need that big, I don't know. Okay, and there it is. Okay, fun, simple, sweet, little white witch action. Okay, let's play with the smaller one and see what we can come up with. Like, do we want to make this one? It's too thin by itself, but we could add some, or we could just thicken it up like this. And we can do a little wrapping all the way up, which I think might be a little bit fun too. So if we wrap these two together, got some pliers to make sure they're nice and tight, and we can bend the ends in so that they don't poke anybody. Okay, and then let's work on up this direction. like the idea of them wrapping multiple times. So let's wrap this cross piece right here. Take this and twist it. Okay, oops. All right, and then we want this side, ouch, to twist back together so that we kind of have this twirly, twisty thing happening. Take another piece of wire. All right, that's kind of fun. I'm gonna take off a few of these extra little pieces here like this to have a nice smooth look. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. Fun? All right, so then we go ahead and do a couple of different options. I just brought this ribbon with me. We could do other ribbons, but I was thinking it might be fun to just do like a little spiral down this broom staff. So let's just do like a little knot up here. We could add a little dried flowers maybe to the top. Could be fun. Okay. And then I just figured we'd just do a little spiral. I want to see the twist, so let's go in between. Right, well, I think we could just keep adding fun things to this. Like, do we want to add a skull? Might be something interesting. Now, how do I do that? Okay, well, I don't know if I love the ribbon all the way up on this thing. Maybe if it was just like solid ribbon. Maybe I'll play with it a little bit and add some dried flowers to it. Let's play with that a little bit. Okay, I went on a scavenger hunt. We've got some dried flowers. We have autumn joy sedum, which is still drying, which is a perfect time to add into a wreath or arrangements like this. It's another piece right here. I also have some Love Lies Bleeding Amaranth, which has got this beautiful structure. I've got these Black-Eyed Susan seed heads, and these are pretty short and not easy to use in dried flower arrangements, so it's perfect for a little craft like this. I have just a handful of dried hydrangea blooms that dried a little more brown than I typically like to use. So I was almost gonna just toss the ones that turned brown more than blue. But these are perfect for this witchy, fun project. And set these to the side. I have just a few of our pampas grass. Okay, that's not alive. Whatever it was. We cut down a whole bunch of these, and I just figured why not use a few to blouse up this arrangement. So I'm going to cut them down a little bit so they're more easy to manage. And then I don't need all of these leaves so much for this purpose. Although these could be used to tie on. So let's just leave a few of them and see what we need to do. My thought was I could just kind of slip them up through the ribbon and weave them into the arrangement. So let's see how that works. So I don't want them like that long. All of this ribbon as much as possible. So I'm hoping I can do this without taking the ribbon off. That's the goal. Okay, it's starting to look a little bit more fun. Let's go ahead and add in these. I think we'll add these guys in next. Up the stem. So I think we could just slip this in here. This is the front, this is the front. Okay. So, I could clip this later, but let's just keep playing with this before we make any decisions. These stems are still a little bit flexible, so that's coming in really handy. So I can kind of manipulate them in between the ribbon. Oh, it's falling down. Okay. Okay, that's nice. And then we'll do one at the top. Should be a little easier. Okay. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting somewhere anywhere. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do is put these guys sitting upward. Let's see. Have them kind of sitting this way, I think. I'm going to try doing it with a thicker stem, but we could cut them down to the smaller stems too if we need to. I think they're going to be a little stronger if I could use the thicker stem. And then I'll just cut down this stem in here so that you don't see it. I need another one. Okay, how's that going? Not bad. And if we take some of this and just pop it down in there. Like this. Okay. Take off these pieces. Okay. Let's do little clusters of 3 for these guys. Let's fill this thing. Okay, I'm happy with that. What do you think? Used some resources. Made a fun, witchy, dried flower besom. And the back looks pretty decent. I think it'll hang on the wall nicely. It's pretty flat. So I can hang it up somewhere or prop it in a corner. How fun! This is something that I will probably leave up year-round in my house because it's just so pretty. And this is something that's just super easy to leave outside, a little witch's broom area that I won't mind if it gets wrecked. And then this is a beautiful indoor besom. Traditionally, witches used besoms to psychically clean their areas during the spring and the fall, and it is very common for them to use elements from around their immediate environment. The traditional witch's way of using a besom is just to set this beautiful consecrated broom next to your front door, where it can, sweep away the negative and welcome in the positive into the home. For me, I just really love using the elements of my garden in different ways, and this is just a new way to have fun with these dried flowers and these old twigs that we had laying around. I was inspired to do just a basic one because it's Halloween, and I thought, oh my gosh, it looks like a witch's broom. And then, this sparked simply because I wrapped it in a ribbon and I didn't like the way it looked, so I just kept adding to it until it became this beautiful ornamental piece that I can use in my home decor. In the spiritual world, it's referred to as these ornamental, beautiful besoms that can be used in a energetically sweeping away different types of energies that you don't want in your home. And for me, it's just something beautiful to look at. So I encourage you to go out, forage around your land, find some fun things that can dry, and create something beautiful that sparks joy and gets your creative juices flowing, and you can enjoy throughout the seasons. And until the next video, I hope you keep celebrating your life, and I'll see you soon. Bye.